Giants suck. Giants suck. I was going to do 20 minutes of Giants suck on the air. But I realize now that might get kind of dull. Giants suck.
Well, you could go to specific guys on the team after the Giants.
I officially got into football this weekend.
Yeah, this was the weekend to get into it.
Yeah, I had a great weekend. I watched Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Great game.
Great game.
You didn't watch Saturday? You didn't watch the Jets?
Of course I did.
Oh.
Of course I did. That's true. I shouldn't forget that huge win of the Jets, and I love that. That was fun to watch, just to see them romp. But
your buddies on Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Did he play?
You know, I don't know. I didn't see him in the game.
Didn't hear his name either.
No. Marco. But I think that what it is he just got on the team like 2 weeks ago, and they're not going to, I don't know. I don't know that he
doesn't know the system, and they're not going to play him that much?
I don't know. I don't know what goes on with that. He has a history of not getting on that field.
Yeah, but here's the deal. If they traded for him 2 weeks ago, if he has to learn the system, why would they trade for him?
No, I think they have him on hold if somebody gets injured.
Like a reserve guy?
Yeah, they got to have that.
That's the best, because you get a ring if you win it all. You don't have to get injured.
Me and my girlfriend were talking about that, because we're friends with Marco.
Yeah.
If Marco gets a Super Bowl ring, is it good if you don't get to play?
I think it's not. If you haven't contributed even a little bit, I don't know, man. I take it.
You know, they interviewed Vinny Testaverde, and he said, I want a ring, and if it means Chad Pennington to get me a ring, then I will take the ring with Chad Pennington being...
I heard that, and I don't believe it.
No, but here's the difference. Well, Vinny's made him...
Vinny has said that, you know, he's trained Chad Pennington, and he's for 2 years been, working with him, and
he's made a contribution to the team. He helped the guy be a good quarterback. I mean,
but it's still not you on the, marshaling the team down the field and taking the, wearing the ring. What does that mean? Chad Pennington got it.
All I know is good to be back here. It's about 190 degrees in the studio, and I'm really ready to drop dead already, and I've been gone 2 weeks.
My yoo-hoo is coagulating.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta...
Your milk has already turned, huh?
Jesus. Either turn off all the lights or something. Oh, my God.
Well, you know what the deal is? Scott, the engineer's not here.
So nobody knows what
to do.
Nobody knows how to work the heat?
He's moving today.
Well, can somebody figure out how to work the heat? It can't be that complicated.
No one learned our system. Speaking of football, can I talk to you about our contest? What went on with our contest?
I was wondering about that yesterday.
Why don't I set the agenda? Okay. We've got time on that. We've got time. Baba Booey's setting the agenda.
Well, sometimes you want me to remind you stuff.
I know.
I wasn't trying.
Not today.
Not right now.
Today I don't need you to remind me of anything.
Don't remind him now.
That was yesterday.
Baba Booey.
All right, so I watched Pittsburgh and Cleveland. That was good.
Great game.
Although if you're a Cleveland fan, you got to be kicking yourself in the head.
Terrible.
Yeah. The Jets romped, but I don't know how real that is. Like, you can't tell with that.
Was that a good team?
I think it was.
I think,
they were pretty good.
They're in the playoffs. Yeah. I was at the Jet game with a flask, a brand new flask, and they looked amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like supermen at this point.
That Pennington guy, I mean, he looks like a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Isn't it also because none of them can figure out what he's up to because he's so new?
No, I just think he's really a solid.
Sharp, yeah.
He keeps his head cool under pressure, and he rolls out and hits these touchdown passes. And I mean, the Colts aren't a great team, but the Jets looked unbelievable.
Sounds like you're in love.
Yeah, everybody's.
I love that Chad Penn.
Talk to me about what's in the flask. What'd you have?
I had a little Johnny Black.
Now, how big is the flask?
Because you're a degenerate, so I like to find out.
I was at a Jet game,
No, you needed it. It was cold.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Yeah.
But how big is the flask? I mean, is it like a pint or...
No, it's
little thing.
You've seen flasks.
And what's the move? Do you keep it in your pocket and
it's funny.
That's the kind of thing you don't want people... I notice guys with flasks, they don't want people to see them sipping. So
it's funny? There's a huge line to get in the Jet game, right? It's not for people taking tickets. Since 9/11, of course, every single person has to get frisked.
You got to get there early.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And I guess you're not allowed to take a flask in the game, but these guys frisking you, they're just looking for guns. Right. The guy felt my flask, and he feels it, and he goes, yeah, you got a pea coat on. That's warm, isn't it?
You got a what?
He goes, I had a pea coat on. He goes, that's warm. It's warm, isn't it? And he slapped my flask. He goes, get in there, have a good time.
Your new best friend.
Everyone had a flask. He would have been able to do it. So
let me ask you about the flask.
Yeah.
Where do you get this flask? Like, do you own one?
I own a flask.
Yeah. And how big is the flask?
Like a quart. Yeah, like a quart.
Yeah.
Oh, a quart?
No, it's not a quart. It's like a half pint.
Man, like a half a pint. Yeah.
And where do you keep it? Like in the coat pocket?
I got a big pea coat that I wear.
I think if I had a flask, I'd want to pull it out like out of my top pocket.
Right, I keep it here. But the move is, if they see you drinking out of a flask, they'll kick you out. So they sell them, the big Coors Light beers are plastic. Mm-hmm. You finish a beer real quick, and then in the bathroom you pour all the Johnny Black into the Coors Light.
Right.
So you drink, it looks like you're drinking a beer, but you're getting over on them because you're drinking Johnny Black.
Nice move. Way to go, brother.
And then you just drink the same beer for 4 quarters.
Don't you, when you go to a game, you just get up and go? You don't think about, putting liquid in your coat?
Well, if you got a problem, you do.
Now, Artie, are you one of those...
I'm just saying, normal people just get up and go somewhere.
Yeah.
Artie has to do all this planning.
Hey, he prepares. You gotta, I don't know.
A jet game is a lot of fun.
Agenda he's got to
Artie,
get through.
are you one of those guys who knows exactly when they stop selling beer, so you go and get the 4 at a time?
Yeah, the baseball game, it's the 6th inning now.
Yeah.
What's up?
Usually those guys who check you are such pricks. I mean, like one time, it's hard to sneak beers into Jet Stadium. I mean, my friend dressed as Santa Claus one time. They had like 18 beers. We dumped like a case. We put them in.
You guys are like terrorists. Like instead of bombs, you got beers strapped to you.
They got beers strapped to themselves.
They stopped Santa, and they made Santa take all of his beers out. His kids walking by, and Santa's dumping all the beers out.
Not in front of the kids.
You ain't getting nothing for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll give you an idea. Casey's agenda at his family. For a wedding, they were all groomsmen. They all got Jet flasks. That was their gift.
Nice.
With the name on it.
Jet!
Engraved in it.
You should see the meeting in the parking lot when you're going into the Jet game, and you have to break up the beers. There's a case of beer in the back of the car.
Right.
So, like, my buddy Frank, he's a construction worker. He's got one of those overall jumpsuits that you wear when it's cold, and his pockets everywhere. He goes, all right, I'm putting one in the leg. I got one here, one here. And then he comes up to, he goes up to everybody, and he takes you, like, your left side jacket, your right side jacket. You take one here, you take one here.
Right.
Anybody got any open pockets? And you try to get everybody, set up so you can bring the whole case in.
Because you don't want to buy beer there. They charge too much money.
$8, $9 a beer.
But they don't search you for beer? They don't feel the beers?
You know what?
Depends on the dude.
If you go in with if you put 30 beers in on everybody and they take 10 away, you still got 20.
You're right. And figure it out. If it's $9 a beer, you're still ahead of the game.
We paid a case of Coors Light. We paid, I don't know, $18 for it.
Yeah, it should be like those strip clubs where the girls get all naked. You should be allowed to bring your own beer to a game. Bring your own alcohol in coolers.
Howard, the biggest degenerates ever go to these games. I mean, I remember one time during halftime, there was one of those pass, punt, and kick things for the kids.
Right.
There was like 10 or 12-year-olds out there like passing and throwing, see how far they can do it. A kid didn't throw the ball, he didn't throw it very far. The people booed him. 10-year-olds.
Well, they're drunk.
Grow up, kid.
Yeah,
You know what? Before the games, they started showing those tailgate parties in the parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
It is so frightening. And I think they should just round all those people up. They don't even have tickets.
Right.
And it's freezing cold.
It's just the hanging.
Hey, can I just tell you one embarrassing story?
I could have sat on the cold side. I said, there's no way I'm going to a Jets game.
And sit on the cold side.
How would you sit on the cold side?
Well, Beth's 2 brothers are friends with Brad Scioli, the guy on the Colts. He's a lineman. And he had tickets. And I brought him to the Stones concert. So he said, hey, tell Howard he's got a ticket if he wants to come. So I was going to go with them. And then I just said, you know what, man? I'd rather get there with my big screen TV.
It's cold.
Just chill out in front of the TV set and watch it. And I got news for you. If I had gone, I would have left at halftime anyway because the Jets were going to kick ass.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just tell you one drinking story that was really embarrassing? My dad and I went to a game. I can't remember, like 85, and I can't remember whether it was the playoffs or not, but it was an important game. It was either the last game of the season. So my dad and I brought a flask, that we shared.
Nice.
Oh, dear.
So
nice.
Father-son flask.
This is great.
Isn't that nice?
2 straws.
So my dad and I are taking hits out of the flask, and my dad, he got a little,
Wasted.
He got a little wasted, which was funny to see. So there was this couple sitting behind us. They must be like 100-year-old season ticket holders. There's, a couple. And they're really old. And when there's a big play, you stand up to see what happened. Every time we stood up, they yelled at us. Sit down, sit down. So my father kept going, be quiet, be quiet. My father kept hitting the flask.
Right.
Around the 4th quarter, this guy behind us had to be 80 years old. Around the 4th quarter, the guy called my father like an idiot or something like that. My old man turns around and picks him up by both collars right out of the chair and starts shaking him. And I'm like, Dad, chill out. He was going to beat the crap out of of the old man.
Well, yeah, rightly so.
Oh, dear.
Your dad's the annoying guy who stands up every minute and doesn't care about anybody.
Howard, you don't know what it's like to go to a game where everybody stands up. No, but everybody stands up every minute.
Except that old couple.
Yeah.
Howard, it's safe to say if you have a flask, you have a drinking problem, right?
Right. I think so.
No, not on a Jet game. Take a flask to the opera. I mean, you know.
Take a flask to work with you.
You're not going to the opera because you can't take a flask.
Well, yes, so.
Matt, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard. Hey, Robin. How you doing? First of all, the flask is necessary for anything you do.
It is.
Going to sporting events.
Weddings.
I have one.
Believe me, dude. I like everywhere I go. I think I drank every night of vacation, and I'm almost up to the flask.
Well, you know what? That's why I said, now I know what to get you. I'm going to get you a flask.
Give me a nice flask. By the way,
Not only saving money.
Robin, your gift to me, which was a big bottle of champagne. One of your gifts. That went the first night.
That was the you got home, pop that up.
That was gone. That is the best goddamn champagne. She got me a bottle of Cristal.
No, it wasn't Cristal.
Yes, it is. What was it?
Krug.
Oh, that's what it's called, Krug. Yeah, it was really good, and that was gone.
How big was the bottle?
It was like a regular champagne
Yeah, it was
bottle.
a regular, for people size, not Artie size.
Right.
But the flask thing is, there's one problem when you do the flask thing, because I've done it a bunch of times. I did it at the Met game in the World Series. It was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
You drink out of the flask, and everything seems like it's fine. Then you walk into warm weather, and you don't know how drunk you are until you get into a warm place. So you keep drinking it.
And Matt, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, so I saw you Saturday night at Dos Caminos.
Yeah, I was over at Dos Caminos. Guess who I went to?
Great.
Guess who I went to dinner with?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you with Beth, and first of all, never seen her in person. She's beautiful. And also, you're sitting across from some hot other girl.
Hot other girl was Mark Cronin's girlfriend.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
You're talking about Mark Cronin, the writer Mark Cronin?
Mark Cronin. You want to call him a writer? Go ahead.
Well, I
You're
don't
being
know what
generous.
else to call.
You're being very nice.
I heard something. Who's he dating?
He's just dating a nice girl.
Oh, okay.
And she's beautiful?
Yeah, she's very pretty. Very
Does
pretty
she
girl.
know it's Mark Cronin?
She does not.
What's Mark Cronin?
Mark Cronin. I don't know how far. I don't know how far you go back with with our show, but I used to do a television show on Channel 9 here in New York.
That was a great show.
And Mark was this guy who was a chemical engineer, went to University of Pennsylvania. He was doing great. All of a sudden, wakes up one morning, decides he wants to be a comedy writer. No one will hire him except me.
Right. Somehow you hired
Yeah, I hired him.
Engineer.
And he turned out to be pretty good. He was a real good writer and went on after that show to produce 3 shows out in California. He's got a brand new TV show coming on.
What did he produce?
For the WB, he's got... he filled up a house with, has-been celebrities.
Oh.
And now they're going to all, live together. And I go, what do they win money? He goes, no. That's just the point. They don't do anything except live together, and we just keep throwing crap at them to do, and he's going to come in and explain it. But
okay.
He's got, MC Hammer, Emmanuel Lewis, Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Is that the one that, what's his name, who always sings those songs? Corey
Feldman's in that.
And this one?
Yeah.
One of those Playboy chicks. He got a hot Playboy chick.
Brandy Roderick.
Oh, God.
And he goes, it's, I don't know. So anyway, Cronin's...
Pretty, that girl.
What?
The girl is really pretty.
Yeah, very pretty girl.
Let me ask you a question about Mark. Before Mark had any success with you or anybody else, he was married to somebody pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
And rich, I think.
Is he a good-looking guy?
No. He's a geek.
I'm just checking.
No, he really looks like a chemical engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was with Beth's 2 brothers, too.
Nice guys.
Nice guys. Dos Caminos.
Yeah, that's good stuff there, huh? The best guacamole in the city, I think, so far.
Yeah, very good. And
So who picked up the tab? Did Mark?
Please. he did go for the wallet, though. He did.
He did?
He made the move. Yeah. He made the move.
Good for you, Mark.
Yeah, he did. He made the move. And I just said, no.
But here's the deal. I think about this all the time. If I was going out to dinner with you and I was going to pay.
Go ahead. I know exactly what you do.
Here's what you do. Because I've done this a million times. I went out with there's a couple that will never let us pay. I get up to go to the bathroom and have dessert. I find my waitress. I go, here's my credit card. They should never see the bill.
Right. That's what you do. But Cronin, of course, didn't do it.
He just made the move.
Yeah. Like Stuttering John makes the move. He's like,
how come when he goes to make the move, you don't let him finish the move?
Because they know he can't do it.
You should let him.
Oh, you can't let Stuttering John do it.
Oh, come on. You know what? He's got more money than me. You guys don't feel sorry for him.
You know, somehow you always feel...
Let Howard pay for me if I went out with you.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone expects me to pay because they think I've got $20 gazillion.
Well, you know, Howard, I have a question.
I don't make much money, you know, so...
I took. Listen to this. We called you, actually, Robin, but you were unavailable.
Yeah.
We took, there was a bunch of us going out to dinner. I forget what night it was.
Must have been Saturday if that was, yeah.
Yeah. We went down to Mercer Kitchen. Me, Artie, Stuttering John and his wife, Ralph. Oh, I know what it was. Ralph says to me, hey, I want to get a bunch of people together for dinner.
Oh, this was early in the vacation.
Yeah. I want to get a bunch of people together for dinner. I go, great, count me in. I'd love to get together with everyone. He goes, all right, I'm in charge. So he doesn't make a reservation anywhere forever.
Oh, no.
Then at the last minute, he calls me up, do you know where we should go?
And he called me at the last minute to go. He goes, I know this is last minute, but we're going out tonight.
Yeah. So he goes, do you know anywhere we should go? So I said, dude, I thought you were taking care of this. I said, well, you know it's a real nice place? Mercer Kitchen. Oh, really? Okay. Can I drop your name? Because we might have trouble getting a table.
Yeah, at this
So I said, well, go ahead. He drops my name. He gets a table. He calls me back. He goes, you know, I don't know if we should go to Mercer Kitchen because they don't have any round tables. And I don't like sitting at a square table. So it's not he's like a girl. He goes, it's not good for conversation. I said, well, you know what? You just dropped my name. Do me a favor, don't cancel the reservation because of a table, of a square table. I'm fine with a square table, and you've used my name. I don't want you to cancel at the last minute. I said, well, okay, I'm coming. I don't ask him who's coming or anything. Well, who do you think should be there?
I thought he was planning this.
That's what I thought, too. So I go, well, you know, what about Ross? Maybe give Robin a call. Call some people, see what they do. Yeah, I'll call some people. So this was supposed to be done days ago. See, that's why you got the call.
Right, at the last minute.
Yeah. Who else should I call? So I said, well, what about Artie? Some people. Get together with some people.
He didn't know anybody.
Right. So I show up. I get there. Ralph, by the way, comes over to my apartment because he wants to ride down to the place.
He's throwing a party, but you have to get him there.
Yeah. So I take him. We go down there. Everybody's there. There's a square table. There's 3 seats left. One for me, one for Beth, one for Ralph. Ralph plants himself. There's 2 seats next to each other, which you would think would be for me and Beth to sit next to each other. And there's one all the way at the end where Ralph will be in Siberia.
Right.
And Ralph plants himself down where me and Beth should be sitting. And because he doesn't want to sit.
He takes one of the 2 seats that are together.
Yeah, because he hates a square table and doesn't want to be at the end.
Right.
So I said to Beth, well, there's no room for us. We'll go to another table. So Ralph begrudgingly moves to Siberia at the end of the table and is pouting the entire friggin' time because he's not in the midst of all the action.
Right, where he thinks the good spot is.
And believe me, I was at the end of the table, too. It makes no difference. But then when he got enough alcohol, he couldn't care less. You know what? Alcohol turns you into a man. Went from being a crying girl to a man.
That was a fun night. You had the Chopin vodka that night.
Yeah, it was loaded. So anyway, then the bell comes. Yeah. And
it's Ralph's party.
It's Ralph's party. I see nobody reaching for the bill. The bill's been laying there for for an hour.
I reached.
Yeah, I saw you do the reach.
But you couldn't reach it?
Yeah, you couldn't reach it. He was very far away from
me. He tried.
Yeah. So I just said, you know what? I'll pay for the whole thing. Boom.
Very nice.
Thank you. He thanks you belatedly.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I paid for the thing.
I love all these people who are so willing to accept invitations and never pay.
I was a guest, and all I know is
invited you.
I paid for the whole thing. And to me, if someone really wants to pay, they go up to the waiter, as Gary was saying.
Right.
You go up and you talk to the person during it.
Especially if you've arranged a party. Right. You go in and you say, make sure I get the bill.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he should. Well, I mean, you know, I couldn't pay for the whole 12 people, though.
Yeah, you want to be sitting there splitting everything
I would have paid for me and
He would have been like, I had the lobster salad.
Right. Oh, I hate that.
And then I have horrible fits that they've made the reservation in my name, and then no one will leave a good tip if we all split it up.
Right, because then there's cheaping out on the tip, too. When they don't include the tax when they're splitting things up. They do a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Ralph billed it to me as him and Booker were having a Christmas party.
Yeah, well, that Howard will pay for.
Yeah. I said, all right, where is it?
Great. Him and Booker were having a Christmas party.
That's what he said.
Boy, I didn't even see Booker make the move for the credit card.
Well, yeah, when Ralph left the message on my machine, he said, I'm thinking of getting people together.
Well, he gets them together and I pay. I love that. And he's the hero.
Oh, boy.
He's invited you.
It's Ralph. I'm trying to figure out a place where Howard could buy us dinner. Do you have?
Howard, where do you want to buy dinner?
Howard's buying dinner tonight. Who wants to go?
Do you have any suggestions?
You know, since Howard's paying, he should pick the restaurant. That's why I called.
Has he ever paid at any of the times you ever?
One time he paid and his credit card bounced.
That was the best.
That was the best. That was the best. I finally broke down and said, okay, I'll let him pay. Let's see what happens. They come back to the table. I'm sorry, Mr. Sorella. Your card has expired or denied. Or something. He goes, oh, yes, and so he didn't have any cash. I just said, give me the bill.
So he's never paid.
No, I think one time maybe. I don't know.
He's never pulled out a credit card again since that day.